Welcome to Mind Matters with Dr. Michele. Today I'm talking with Ziad Kassab, president of the DMAN Foundation. Stay tuned to hear how Ziad is using music to enrich the lives of those living with disabilities and the tragedy that motivated him to start this foundation. We're going to take a quick break, share your thoughts on Facebook and Instagram at Mind Matters with Dr. Michele.
NAMI Michigan offers local resources and educational programs across our state to schools, local communities, and families in partnership with our statewide local affiliates. NAMI advocates for people with mental illness and their families, providing volunteer leaders with the tools and resources necessary for mental health programs in your hometown. We need your help. Visit NAMIMI.org or call 517-485-4049 and begin making a difference in someone's life.
Welcome back to Mind Matters with Dr. Michele, and welcome Z and Trabar.
Thank you for having us.
I'm glad you guys are here. And so Z, I'm excited to hear about the DMAN Foundation. Can we talk a little bit about that? Get us going.
Yeah, DMAN Foundation is my heart and passion. It's a nonprofit 501c3 organization, started in 2009 after I lost my youngest brother, Danny. A little bit about Danny's story. Danny got hit by a car when he was 7 years old, and as a result of his accident, he became a C1 quadriplegic. So he's paralyzed from the neck down, dependent on a ventilator. He had 24-hour nursing. Besides all that, my great little brother, always supporting each other. And our goal, me and my other brother Cal, was to give Danny a full life. And so we did all kind of stuff, from going to movies and ball games to traveling. And when he turned 21, we took him to Las Vegas. We can't talk too much about what happened there on the air because you know how that goes.
Yeah, what stays in Vegas.
You know
what
it.
happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
You know it. But when he passed away in 2009, I got obsessed with this idea to open a music therapy studio. I got the idea from a handicapped art studio that Danny used to go to. They had the clay and the kiln and the watercolors. The place was called Paint a Miracle, great place. And they would give every patient a parapro to help them get them the colors or the everything that they would need to be able to paint. And he would paint with his mouth, like this. And he had some really, really great paintings. But Danny really also loved music, everything from the Jackson 5 to Eminem, country music, rock, 80s rock and roll, and everything in between, R&B and a lot of Motown stuff. And my other brother, Cal, was a musician. He was a rapper. And he actually also went to school to be a nurse to take care of Danny. So we always say he was like the first nurse rapper that we knew, right?
Yeah.
And one day we took Danny to the music studio so that he could, him and I went with Calvin to a different studio to just kind of hang out. We're like groupies, you know, just kind of hanging out. And Danny said, well, I want to try to rap. So I said, all right, well, let's put you in there and do your best. And when you have a ventilator, like my homie Travar over here, it's not easy to talk or rap. So just do your best. And he went and he did it. And we edited out the sound of the breath. And he put a beat behind it. And he was like, oh, you know, that's what I would sound like if I didn't have this machine breathing for me. And so after he passed, I got obsessed with this idea to open a handicap-accessible music therapy recording studio. And after 4 years, I finally did it.
Wow. Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Because it sounds like you're doing great things with this studio.
Thank you.
And were you just already heavily into music before that? And did you recognize the therapeutic benefits of music?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't recognize how much it was and how I could have never expected the outcome when I started. But, you know, I would get Danny up every day, and I would get him shaved and get him dressed, and we'd always be listening to music, everything, you know, and singing and dancing. So it was therapeutic from that aspect.
Now, was Danny immediately receptive to all of this? Like getting involved in the studio, and or did it take some like strong encouraging and?
Well, actually, we started the studio. We opened the studio after Danny passed away. But he would have loved it. He totally would have loved it. The experience we had the day we put him in someone else's studio is what sparked me to want to do this.
And so we have Trevor over here, audio engineer, producer, lyricist. Very, very talented. Got a chance to hear some of your music and absolutely love it. So we're going to absolutely have to let our viewers hear it as well. So, Trevor, how did you meet Z?
I actually went to ventilator camp with his brother, and unfortunately, Z and I didn't meet through his brother, but I remember his brother and his big, beautiful smile that he had. It was what I recall the most, but actually it was my nurse, Sarah, who I just graduated college, kind of frustrated that I wasn't getting hired. I thought everyone would come knocking to hire me, and the opportunity wasn't there. And she said, "You should come meet my boss. He has businesses."
And she was referring to Z.
Yeah,
okay.
And she introduced me to Z, and Z says, "You know, I can give you a job, but I think you're more of an entrepreneur." And that's kind of how we met.
So, Trevor, you were introduced to Z through his brother, but you didn't realize at the time, you didn't know his brother you didn't know about the DMAN Foundation or anything.
That's right. When I met Danny, I don't think the foundation existed at that time. It was afterwards, after Danny passed, that Z and I was introduced through my nurse, and I think Z has just continued the philosophy that he had for his brothers to help people live a full life.
And were you already an artist before you met Z? Like were you aware of all of your skills?
Funny story, my elder cousins used to make music, and they stopped just suddenly, and I started making music just to try to get them to start again, and I remember the first beat I made, they laughed at me, and out of love, and the next time I made one, then they're like, "Yes, that's so bad." And then we all got back together and started making music.
Yeah, I was going to say, after the music I just heard, I bet they're not laughing now. But we're going to take a quick break, head over to @MyMatters with Dr. Michele. See you in a minute.
Attention Medicare customers with diabetes. Now you can stop the painful pricking of your fingers with a continuous glucose monitor, and they're covered by Medicare if you qualify. Call right now for free information.
Since 1958, Wayne County families have relied on the Guidance Center's innovative educational and mental health programs. We provide 20,000 children and adults annually 26 programs spanning holistic mental health services, early childhood education, intellectual and developmental disabilities programs, and certified community behavioral health clinic, all delivered in a professional atmosphere of caring, hope, and respect. Call toll-free at 844-820-4819 for more information.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available.
We all have different abilities, but most people share similar life goals. The Oakland Community Health Network is here to help. Opportunity is waiting. Let's find yours. Hope starts here.
Not all wounds are visible. The pain is real, but so is hope. Don't suffer in silence. We can help. Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network. Mental health care, putting children first.
Welcome back to My Matters with Dr. Michele. So, Trevor, you clearly have a passion for music, and you're clearly great at it, right? I know you said he doesn't like to toot his own horn, right?
I'll toot it for him. He's fantastic.
He's fantastic. Yes,
Really
so I've heard it, so there's no denying it. Let's talk a little bit about your history and your accident. You know, what happened?
Sure. 1995, I was shot in the neck and paralyzed from the C1 vertebrae in my spine. And now I'm paralyzed from the neck down and use a ventilator to breathe. I went through rehabilitation at the University of Michigan Hospital, and that's where the connection with me and Danny starts. Mm-hmm. And now, with the DMAN Foundation, we've done many things together. We've gone to the Bahamas together. We do the Woodward Dream Cruise together. We performed at those places.
And this was a trip that was completely assisted by the DMAN Foundation.
Yeah, we help with granting money, but money's not always the hard part, right? When you're traveling with a power chair and a ventilator and oxygen and nursing and you need a hospital bed and a Hoyer lift where you go. So we assist a lot with the logistics as well, okay. And then really bring fantastic nurses, again, like Sarah with us. Makes all the difference. Trevor has a saying, and they call him Mr. SOT, survive, overcome, and thrive. And he inspires others to live his life by that. I don't want to just survive, I want to live. I want to overcome, I want to thrive. And nothing will stop this guy from doing it. He's so motivated and determined, and everyone's always learning from him, including me.
Trevor, how did you come up with that? Survive, overcome, thrive.
When you start to try to narrow down your own life philosophy and how you want to approach things, that's what it boils down to for me. It's like, first, what does it take to make it? And then how do I overcome those things? And then once I overcome them, I don't want to just stay there. I still want to grow. I want to thrive. That's just been my guiding life philosophy.
So, Trevor, understanding that music is healing, very therapeutic. After your accident, did you go through any psychotherapy?
My family, I just have the type of family who they never treated me any different. It didn't feel traumatic as it was. It was just like I went through something. I came back home to hugs, and now get back to business. And that's how my family is. Mm-hmm. So I didn't feel the need to do that at that time.
Well, yes, there's nothing like the support of family and friends. But oftentimes, no matter how much support we have around us, sometimes there's still this intensity of like sadness, depression, like my life has changed. So you did not experience that?
I feel like I do experience those things. I just have a different way of coping with them.
I would say it sounds like you're extremely resilient.
I'd say so. Mm-hmm. I think so.
Which is why you can inspire others, and which is why you can convey, that in your music. You can make the music that you make.
Yeah, I think one important aspect of the music that I tend to make is the motto of Bloodline, local media is Get Grown. We talk about grown issues, grown-up issues. It's not about always cars and monies and girls and things like that. We talk about real issues in the music, and I think that's what's so attractive about the music we make.
What inspires you?
I love to see people do well. I really do. It doesn't matter whether I help them or not, or whether I'm a part of what they're doing. I just love to see people succeed, and even if it's people who are injured or who have mental health issues, or just your everyday Z. I just love to see people succeeding, and that gives me joy.
And so I'll ask you the same question, Z. What inspires you? Because I know, your goal is to see people do well. And I know it's not always easy running a business like this.
It's like a burning ball of endless passion from my brother's spirit and what he was able to do. And it's fueled by Trevor's spirit. And seeing him do well, it's rewarding to me, and all our folks succeeding, right? Sometimes we see folks in the studio, they come in, and they're not always as mentally tough as Trevor, especially if they're young and their accident is fresh. There is a very aggressive depression there, and suicidal thoughts, and some real things that we have to talk about and we have to address. But being able to see them after 2, 4, 6, 10 sessions go by and months go by, they find purpose again in the music. And they build a friendship and a brotherhood and a sisterhood at the studio, and they just always support each other. And every time I leave one of those, it fires me up and makes me want to do more.
Wow, so perfect time for a break. Great conversation. Head over to @MyMedicine with Dr. Michele. We'll see you in a minute.
A federal jury unanimously found Monsanto's popular weed killer Roundup was a substantial factor in causing cancer. If you or someone you love used Roundup and were diagnosed with cancer, call the number on your screen now. You may be entitled to substantial compensation.
Head Start preschool programs improve children's learning skills and kindergarten readiness. Give your child the Head Start they need to succeed. Enroll in the Guidance Center's free Head Start preschool for Wayne County families. Call 734-785-7702.
If you developed Parkinson's and worked or lived on a farm that used paraquat herbicide treatments with Gramoxone, Firestorm, or any listed brand, call now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. There are time deadlines, so don't delay. If you don't win, you pay nothing. We all have different abilities, but most people share similar life goals. The Oakland Community Health Network is here to help. You have something amazing to contribute. Hope starts here.
Welcome back to My Medicine with Dr. Michele. So Z and Trevor, we've talked about what inspires you, and we talked about how you're doing all of these, all of these successful, great things with the studio. But there are challenges as well with running a business like this. What are some of the challenges?
Well, first priority is always everybody's health, right? And when you live with a disability like Trevor's and a lot of the folks that we serve, every day is a challenge. Just getting up, getting out of the house, transportation there, staffing sometimes. It's always there's so many different things that patients in the studio, sometimes blood pressure comes down, and they need a break. I think on a higher level, some of the hardest stuff is when we lose somebody at the studio. It's hard sometimes to pick up and keep going. It's just like a shot to the gut.
Yeah.
Every time. But what we try to do when we lose somebody, like we lost our brother Scott, our brother Tony, is we try to memorialize them. So if you've ever been like the Hard Rock,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and you know how like they'll take like Mick Jagger, for example, wore this at this concert. So we take their clothes and we'll memorialize them and put them on the wall in the studio. And kind of make some highlight videos of their thing, and then continue to draw for their passion. Even the guys will make songs for the guys that we lost.
And you do have licensed or certified music therapists there, right?
Yeah. So in the program, we have board-certified music therapists, and we've got professional audio engineers as well. So the way the two of them work together is when a patient, or what we call them artists at the studio, they come in, they get a formal clinical assessment by the board-certified musical therapist. They assess them in physical, social, emotional, and cognitive areas. And then they will create a care plan of music therapy exercises to be able to help achieve those physical, social, emotional, and cognitive goals while making a record, while making a song. And that's where the audio engineer comes in on the creativity part, helping to actually compose the music and mix it down and master it so we get a real, the outcome is, you know, the artist achieves clinical and goals and gets healthy, and they make a record. Awesome records.
So how often are you recording, Trevor?
I have a studio at home, so I do most of my recordings at home, but I still, nowadays I'm more in a support role where I help
He's a mentor.
And I help some of the other D-men and women, and they'll call me, Javar, you like this, and you know, the quality of music that they're making is getting so much better, and you see the confidence that transfers not just in their music making, but in their life, everyday life. They become more confident.
Absolutely.
And we all take constructive criticism from each other. It's like, hey,
the mindset we've built is to ask for help, seek out advice. So like, hey, what do you think? Hey, what do you think? Could I do better? What do you think I could do to be better, right? So it's not just us or anyone saying, you know, do this and this and that over, do it better. But the culture that we created is one where everyone seeks to always improve and be the best that they can be.
And it can be really difficult to ask for help, right? Like, you know, you especially if you're used to being independent and you're saying, you know, well, you know, I got this, you know, but you create that environment. Like you said, you create a culture where it's the norm to work as a team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's endless collaboration. And when we started the studio, we started doing sessions, individual sessions. He would come in, for example, and work with one therapist and one engineer to focus on his outcomes and his music. After maybe somewhere in the first year, we started doing group sessions. So we'll just bring them all together on a Saturday so they can hang out. And then they started playing music, and I like this and I like that. And then we started introducing beats, and I want to rap on that. And he's like, I want to rap on that too. Let's collaborate.
Yes.
And it turned into a family, like I said, a brotherhood. Now, even when you see,
And you know, and music is just so motivating. I mean, I could create a whole life plan riding in my car listening to music, especially if it's like, you know, what is it, Blessings? The song I just heard.
That's the jam.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, so what you're doing, you know, will automatically inspire others. Trevor, do you have things that are there, like, I guess, dreams, things that you still want to do with music that you have not yet achieved?
I'd like a placement, a hit.
You like a hit? Okay.
Just one.
Just one.
I don't need to be a star. Just I'll be happy. But again, just watching others succeed and watching people actually sing your songs when you're performing. You're up there.
they know the words. Like
Like concerts and being on stage.
When we're performing
You've done quite a bit. How many performances have you done by now? Dozens?
Yeah, and just actually seeing people sing along with your song, it's like, okay, that feels good. Yeah. That feels good.
So if someone wants to work with D-Man, how do we find you?
So you can find us on Facebook, the DMAN Foundation, Instagram at the DMAN Foundation, or on our website, www.mydman.org.
Okay. And so you're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Does the D-Man Foundation have like needs for anybody to help out, or are there any needs at this time?
Yeah, so we got our annual Woodward Dreams Come True on Woodward event coming up in August, so we could always use sponsorship dollars to help us do that. Really cool event, really quick. We take people out of their wheelchair and put them in convertibles so they can go up and down the Woodward Dream Cruise. I think we transferred almost 80 patients last year.
Okay.
And any kind of funding and support to help us take care of people with no insurance, that's how we keep things going.
All right. Well, I'm sure you'll have people reaching out to you.
Thank you,
We're
Dr.
going to
Michele.
head to break, head over to at My Matters with Dr. Michele. We'll see you in a minute.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This free book reveals little-known secrets about annuity strategies that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. Call right now for your free book, and as a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today.
Call 800-555-1212.
We all have different abilities, but most people share similar life goals. The Oakland Community Health Network is here to help. Help is only a phone call away. Hope starts here. If you or someone you love has developed Parkinson's disease after being exposed to gramoxone or any herbicide containing the deadly chemical paraquat, you may be entitled to financial compensation. If you developed Parkinson's and worked or lived on a farm that used paraquat herbicide treatments with gramoxone, Firestorm, or any listed brand, call now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. There are time deadlines, so don't delay. If you don't win, you pay nothing.
800-555-1212.
Coach your kids through more than just homework. Mental health is more important than grades. Know the warning signs in children and how to get help. When families understand, your child wins. Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network. Mental health care. Putting children first.
Thank you for watching today. I want to hear from you. Have a topic in mind? Let's talk about it. Head over to at My Matters with Dr. Michele to share your thoughts about today's episode and more. Improve your mental health, improve your life. See you next week.